Alright, so you know we had to do it. The regular season is over. Actually, no, it's not technically over. There's a game going on right now, and it's not for the Stanley Cup Playoffs. It's Seattle and Winnipeg. Yeah, the last game of the 2021-2022 NHL regular season. But with the Montreal Canadiens being my second favorite team, and with them wrapping up their campaign with what was a very astounding, very convincing, very dominant win over the best gosh darn team in the NHL in the Florida Panthers. Granted, they sat out a lot of their guys and they didn't have a good goaltender, whatever, but like, who cares? The Habs beat the Panthers 10-2, and there was some stat going on Reddit talking about, okay, what is the likelihood, firstly, that the last game of the regular season is going to be played between the worst team and the best team? That's already a statistical improbability there. What are the odds that the best team ends up losing to the worst team? That's even more unlikely. And then, what are the odds that that loss is 10-2? The Habs beat them 10-2. They had a whole bunch of stuff going on. Jordan Harris getting on the board. Christian Dvorak not celebrating his goals. Ben Sherratt looking all sad when the team was taking a picture at center ice afterwards because, you know, he's not on the team anymore. And then, of course, you had Cole Caufield. Now, this game, I didn't watch it. I was out on a walk doing something. I completely forgot what I was doing. But, like, I was seeing the notifications pop up on my phone like, oh my gosh, why are they scoring a whole bunch of goals here? What's going on with Spencer, Knight, and Bobrovsky? And then I realized, oh, it's not Bobrovsky or Knight. In fact, the Florida Panthers were pretty much icing like their second-tier team. I don't know how to describe it. They didn't really have the best roster because they're sitting the guys out for the playoffs. But Cole Caufield finishes off the regular season in 2021-2022 with a hat trick. His very first NHL hat trick. We're used to seeing Caufield score hat tricks as he had a lot of them with the Wisconsin Badgers in the NCAA. But this season, if we review Cole Caufield and everything that he did, it's honestly kind of mind-blowing to see where the direction of this team went after Dominique Ducharme got fired. Because it's no surprise to hear that Dominique Ducharme didn't do the best job possible when allowing these guys to play their game and forcing the Canadiens into whatever system he wanted to do. Cole Caufield suffered the most because he was shooting at 2%? He was like whole milk right there. He was going at a very strong, very solid 2 something shooting percentage, if not 2, it might have been 3 or whatever. It was really low, to the point that he only had 1 goal in 30 games played under Dominique Ducharme, and a lot of people were like, oh, look at that, Caufield's a bust, eh? That Stanley Cup playoff run, Stanley Cup finals run was a bust, eh? Unfortunately, that's not how it went down, because Cole Caufield under Marty St. Louis went out there and absolutely finished the regular season on a high note, of course scoring himself the hat trick and making things very pleasant to the eye when you look at the points and the statistics and how that compares with other rookies and players in the National Hockey League. Cole Caufield, just for all intents and purposes, finished off the regular season with 67 games played, 23 goals, and 20 assists for 43 points. So, right away, the point production is actually slightly better than what he had last year if you're only looking at a point-per-game basis. Last season, he had 5 points in 10 games, so half a point a game. This season, he was over half a point a game, and in fact, his half a point a game this season was actually better than his production in the playoffs last year too, where he had 12 points in 20 games. That was a 0.6 points per game. What he has right now in 2021-2022 is a 0.64 points per game. And again, that's great. Just in isolation, this season by itself, 43.67 games is good. But it gets even better when you realize where things went with Dominique Ducharme at the helm. As we noted, 30 games in the beginning with Ducharme, 1 goal, 7 assists for 8 total points, meaning that under Marty St. Louis, the guy is almost a full-on point-per-game player. 21 goals, 37 games, do the math on that stint right there, 21 divvy 37 multiplied out by 82. Cole Caufield was scoring at a 47-goal pace under Marty St. Louis for almost half the gosh darn year. And of course, the hat trick at the end there really solidifies it. But if you really wanted to make an argument for just how great the ending of Caufield's season was, this is kind of where it really plays in when you compare with other players here. So Cole Caufield, amongst all the rookies, was, 6th in total points? You can see he was behind Lundell, Seider, Raymond Zegras, and Michael Bunting. That's pretty good. We know that he struggled at the start of the year under Dominique Ducharme. But in terms of goals, Cole Caufield and his marker of 23 goals is actually tied for second With Raymond, Zegras, and Bunting, it's one behind Tanner Jeannot, and you still gotta remember that he only had one goal to start off the year in 30 games. Cole Caufield, in the span of a few months, went out there and forced himself into the top scoring race of all these rookies. In fact, it gets even crazier when you look at the individual numbers here. With 22 goals since February 10th, Caufield is tied with 4 other players for 6th most goals in the NHL scored in that time frame. The only players that had more goals than Caufield since Marty St. Louis' hiring were Austin Matthews, who had 7 more goals, Kirill Kaprizov, who had 6 more goals, Elias Lindholm, who had 4 more goals, Tage Thompson, who had 2 more goals, and Nathan MacKinnon, who had 1 more at 23. At 20 years old, he is the youngest player in the top 50 in goals scored over that time frame as well. And you know, it's easier for me to look at the hat-trick game against Florida and say, okay, yeah, look, we'll count that as a normal, regular game. I know it's a hat trick in the last game of the season, and I know it's a 10-2 win, so you can't really value these in the same way you value the 2-1 close games. But, like, Caufield had such a bad start that it kind of balances itself out, right? It's inevitable. It's like Thanos. It's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. So, Caufield and the numbers that he had only make me more excited for the future, because of course the start has to be incorporated when you look at his holistic season, but under St. Louis, who is already confirmed to be coming back next year, I am very intrigued to seeing where St. Louis will go in terms of adapting to a full 82-game season, because, you know, he only he only coached 30-something games here in this season, right? So a full 82-game campaign with other NHL coaches analyzing his strategies, analyzing his tendencies and what he likes to do, and counteracting that. It's going to be a cool learning experience for St. Louis and for us fans, seeing St. Louis do the things that he's doing. And of course, there still is the roster, that in which is Kent Hughes' job. Whether or not St. Louis gets a better roster or a worse roster is up to fate and the hands that be at the top of the Canadiens and their organizational makeup. So, when it comes to what we can see, what we'll likely see, I'm pretty much just going to be excited for the younger guys taking a step forward or two. Cole Caufield maybe getting 50 goals because, hey, okay, no, I'm not going to say that with a straight face. Cole Caufield, if he gets 30 next year, there, how about that? You know how important 30 goals is to me. If you've been watching all the Vancouver Canucks videos we've been making about Radim Verbata and Miller and Pettersson and Horvat, you know how much 30 goals is like the staple in my mind of, okay, you are a good player. And Cole Caufield, if he realistically goes out there and plays under St. Louis the same way he played under St. Louis this year, he could get 30 goals in his sleep. Hopefully, by the time the All-Star break comes around, he's already there. I'm kind of hyperbolizing, kind of joking, kind of not, but at the same time, you know, he's so good that, like, if there's a player to go out there and do that, I think he is the guy to go out there and do that. I mean, come on, he was second in rookie goals with 1 goal in 30 games to start off the year. If that does not scream huge comebacks, then I don't know what does. So let me know in the comments all your thoughts about Cole Caufield and what we saw out of his first season here in the National Hockey League, his first full season as a rookie, where he probably will not win the Calder, but he was considered a favorite heading into the year. It's just Dominique Ducharme and the strategies that he provided over there that did not do Caufield nor the rest of the Canadiens any favors. Believe me, I don't like putting the cart before the horse, but we saw this everywhere he went, from the NTDP to the NCAA to the NHL last year to the playoffs last year to the regular season under Marty St. Louis. Caufield is just a beast, and who cares if he's only 5'7"? He's so evasive, so quick, so finesse-worthy that it doesn't really matter how tall the guy is. He's going out there, he's scoring goals regardless. He's scoring hat tricks regardless. He's scoring goals on the rush regardless. He's scoring nice little backhand tucks regardless. He's scoring one-timers regardless. He's great, and a lot of Canadiens fans are looking forward to seeing what the future holds for sure. So let me know in the comments all your thoughts about Cole Caufield and this commentary, what we talked about here when it comes to the statistics and the comparable players, the rookies, the other guys, Matthews, Kaprizov, and all that. How does it make you feel to know that Caufield is in that conversation and that he forced his way into the conversation ever since St. Louis took over? How does it make you feel for Caufield and his future, and where do you think he goes in 2022-2023? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.